Today we are tackling a question that defeats educators, policymakers, and parents alike. What is the real role of the Department for Education in shaping future education system? Some some say central government should step back. Others argue that without the DVA, we'd have chance that help us sort facts from opinion. I am joined by the Mr. Ito.
Hello. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure, and today's conversation is a very important conversation, in which the million-pound question is, isn't it? And I hear often it from teachers and parents who feel that Whitehall is too distant. But here's the reality. Without a central department, you have no national standards, no common curriculum, no fair funding formula, and no accountability. When a child moves from Manchester to Cornwall, should their education suddenly change completely? Of course not. The DFE isn't there to micromanage every classroom, it's there to ensure consistency, equity, and quality at scale. Local innovation is one, but only national body can prevent postcode lottery.
Okay, you mentioned let me bring in some data from a CNN report on the US Department of Education. It covers 1.6 trillion US dollar in student loans and distribute billions in funding. How does that compare to the UK?
That's an excellent comparison, and the scale is similar. Here in the UK, the student loan company, which sits directly under the DFA, manages over 200 billion pounds in student finance. That's not a small administrative tax. That's the lifeblood of higher education of millions of young Britons. If the DFA were weakened or dismantled, who would manage that? Local councils, individual universities? They don't have the infrastructure or the legal authority. And beyond loans, the DFA distributes dedicated school grant funding, tens of billions of pounds to ensure that a school in a deprived area like Blackpool or Hull gets more support, not less. Without central coordination, wealthy areas would race ahead and disadvantaged students would be left behind. That's not speculation, that is based on economics.
Okay. The CNN reports also mentioned that the US Department of Education enforces civil rights laws in the school. Does the DVA have a similar rules?
Absolutely. In the UK, we don't use the term civil rights in the same way, but the principle is identical. The DFA sets the framework for equality of access, sends provision special education needs and disabilities, and pupil premium funding for disadvantaged children. We also work directly with Ofsted, in the independent inspection body, to ensure the schools are not just teaching well, but treating every child fairly. If a school is discriminating against certain students, whether by race, gender, or disability, the DFA has the legal power to intervene. Without the central authority, who would a parent complaint to the local authority might be biased. The school might defend itself. You need an independent national body with real teeth. That's the DFE.
Okay. CNN specially reports that reducing for the role of the department could significantly impact student loan management and the overall education system. Do you agree?
And I'll give you a real world example from our own history. During the early stage of pandemic, the DFA coordinated the distribution of laptops to disadvantaged children over 1.3 million devices. We worked with the councils, schools, and broadband providers to keep children learning at home. That didn't happen by accident. It happened because a central department had the data, the budget, and the legal power to act. Now imagine, if we had no DFA during the crisis, every local authority would have scrambled on its own. Wealthy areas would have succeeded, poor areas would have failed. Thousands of children would have been left without access to education for a month. That is because of a weak central department, and that's exactly what CNN is warning us about.
Wow, so amazing. So, let's talk about the future. How does the DVA help shape future education system, not just our manage the present?
This is where the role becomes exciting, not just administrative. The DFA is currently funding AI research for classroom tools that can mark work and give personalized feedback. We're also rewriting the curriculum to include green skills for a net zero economy. These are not projects that individual schools or even local authorities can lead. They require national investment, national standards, and national teaching training. For example, our AI tools for education program has already deployed over £1 billion to develop full classroom solutions. That's the DFA shaping the future today, not just reacting to problems.
Wow, okay. The final questions, Mr. Ito. Based on all this advance, so the Department for Education get bigger or smaller?
I think neither. It should get smarter. We don't need a bloated bureaucracy that dictates how every minute of school day is spent. But we need a strong strategic central body that sets high standards, funds innovation, protects civil rights, and ensures equity. The data from the US, 1.6 trillion in loans, civil rights enforcement, national data collection show exactly what's at stake. The CNN report is clear. Weaken the department and you damage the entire system. So my answer as a former minister and a British education expert is this. The Department for Education is not just relevant. It is essential, and any serious vision for the future of education must put a strong, accountable, data-driven national department at its heart.
Wow, that's a powerful closing statement. Mr. Ito, thank you for your time and your candor.
Thank you. And please keep asking this question. An educated public is the best guardian of good education system.
You've been listening to Police for Them the Future. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a teacher, a partner, or a policy maker, and join us the next time when we solve the homework.